Hi there, this is the eponymous trap in the Evans Gambit because Captain Evans himself played this in his own opening. This was against McDonald in 1826. It's not a perfect line, there's many mistakes in what we're about to see. After e4, e5, knight f3 and knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and instead of playing the immediate b4, this is like an Evans Gambit deferred. First Evans himself castled, and after d6 now b4 came. A deferred type of Evans. After bishop takes on b4, c3 hits the bishop and is supporting the d4 thrust in the center. After bishop a5 and d4, here McDonald played bishop g4, pinning the knight on f3, but it's not really too much of a pin because now queen gets out of harm's way, moves to b3 and is hitting f7 as well as b7. So they both have to be defended, and McDonald had planned queen d7, the idea being the queen is supporting f7, and if queen now takes on b7, then the rook can go to b8 hitting the queen while the knight on c6 is defended. So knight g5 was played by Evans. Knight g5 is hitting f7 again. Now this can be defended in a number of interesting ways. In the game itself, knight dropped back to d8. Interesting move, defending f7 and defending b7 at the same time, but this is actually a losing move. Let's have a look at two other alternatives. Another losing move would be bishop h5, and that would lose after knight takes on f7. After bishop takes f7, bishop takes f7. Now queen takes f7, looks good for black, but now queen takes on b7 is going to pick up either the rook or the knight with advantage for white. Moving back, if knight h6 would have been played, this is probably the best continuation for black. The knight on h6 is defending the pawn on f7. But we'll see now why the capture by white on f7, the double capture, doesn't work in this instance. After knight takes f7, knight takes on f7, bishop takes on f7, queen takes on f7, queen takes on b7. That's not going to work now because black can simply castle, and when the queen picks up the knight on c6, black has bishop e2, which is hitting the rook on f1, and if it moves then f2 is dropping and black is certainly winning here. So, knight h6 would have been black's best move. Instead, we're looking at knight d8. And here black or white should win after d takes on e5, d takes on e5, and bishop a3 was played. That was a mistake by Evans, because what really wins here is the continuation. Knight takes on f7, or bishop takes f7. Let's do bishop takes f7 check, knight takes, queen takes. Now queen takes b7 hits the rook, and if the rook moves to d8, then queen b5, a theme we've seen so often in the Evans Gambit. Queen b5 check is going to pick up the bishop on a5, and white is winning. Well, Evans himself missed this, and we'll just show you how he continued anyway. He still won the game. After bishop a3, a clear mistake, black played knight h6, and f3 was played hitting the bishop. We'll just run through the moves quickly. Bishop b6 was played check, king h1. Now the bishop under fire on g4 moves back to h5. Rook d1 now hits the queen, queen c8. Another mistake now, rook takes d8 was not the easiest or most clinical way to secure victory, but we'll look at it anyway. Rook takes on d8 check, queen takes on d8. Now knight takes on f7, forking the queen and the rook after knight takes on f7. Rather than taking on f7, bishop b5 check, and after then c6 blocking, now the queen is running in to e6, and that is going to be checkmate on the next move. So we've looked at the eponymous trap in the Evans Gambit. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.